Hey everyone, it's Lizzie. Welcome back to my channel. We are breaking down our budget, but first we have to look back to the past. So the last pay period, I had filled out this paycheck budget, and I haven't shared this here on my channel because it's been forever since I've posted, but this is the budget planner from the Beautiful Budget, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And I like how it kind of walks you through how to set up a budget with your expenses, emergency fund, and all of that. I'm still getting used to it. I haven't used it very long. You all know I've used the Elevated Life Co Workbook Dual, and I love the simplicity of that. That's what I'm used to. So this is definitely a change for me. So far, it's been working. So far, it's been good. So just so you can take a look, I've already broke down what our true spending was. And I only track the variable spending because the bills, those get paid from the bank account, and I track kind of when we use our credit card. On this side, you can see I've color coded them just to kind of make it easier for tracking purposes. I do my tracking a little bit differently through my checkbook register app. I've talked about some apps that I've used in a prior video. If you want a more in-depth video on how to use that budgeting apps that I use, definitely let me know in the comments. I've broken down some of these that I track. So it's gas, grocery, other, and our checking account buffer or cushion. So the gas that gets left in our checking account, and grocery and other is my one cash envelope. Other, I've gotten asked this many times, is honestly anything under the sun. It could be if I want to get nails, I will go and buy nails, makeup, eating out. I can use grocery for other. It could be honestly anything. So this is what the budgeted amount was for this weekly tracking period. And so that's kind of where this goes into play. So we are going to fill this out together and see where we ended up with. And then I'll go ahead and I'll show you my current paycheck, which is today. This was my breakdown. My husband got paid. We always deduct tithe. That is something that we do right off the bat. I don't share what my husband earns because it's his, it's his earnings and he doesn't want to share that. So after we take out the tithe, we have a remaining of the $954.82, which is true. We did receive that, so I'm just going to put that $954.82 as the actual. These right here that I've written in are our bills, but this is not for the month. This is from my bill tracker, which I've shared here on many occasions. This is the bill tracker. Here I break things down by the days that we get paid. I highlight when we have to have that total amount ready to pay out of our bank account, list, all of the bills and everything. And on payday, I will go down this column over here and I will check off when we have to set that money aside, meaning leaving it in the bank account. So this is not the monthly rent. No, I don't have a $335 rent payment. This is just what we're setting aside from this particular pay day. So these are true. And now down here, this is where the variable expenses are. So that's where we're gonna look at what the true spending was for us. So for gas, we had spent $50.01. So that's $50.01 there. Grocery, we budgeted out $85, but we only spent $74.93. For other, we didn't spend anything. And then for cushion, this is honestly any random things. Truthfully, it's like what my husband spends from our bank account. That's kind of, oh, I didn't plan for it, so we're just going to take it out of the cushion. Don't mean to throw him under the bus or anything, but that's why we have our joint account and all of that. So $63.92 is what that was, and so we're good there. Now to kind of go down the line, we did transfer the $19.62 into our emergency fund, so I'm just going to mark that there. We did do an investment contribution for my husband's IRA of $25. Sinking funds, we did withdraw all of this for sinking funds. And then for medical, we did add $50 for medical contribution. So now, because we are under, we're gonna see what we're gonna do with that remaining money. So we're going to go ahead and add this up right here. So this comes out to be $716.11. So we're going to take that income number and we're going to subtract that $716.11, and this leaves us with $238.71. Like I said, we did contribute $19.62 in our emergency fund. So $219.09, subtract the $25 that we contributed, we're at $194.09. This here, it does add up to be $110. So we're gonna go ahead and take 110. That leaves us with $84.09. So the $84.09, something that we do like to do is any money that we didn't spend in our our gas is gonna get divided up. So we want to put this to a savings challenge. So I'm actually gonna just mark that in here. It's really gonna go, because I'm gonna add it to the next paycheck breakdown. I marked it here, but just to kind of make a note here, I'm gonna say that this is for next savings challenge, and we are going to add $20 into that. So from the $84.09, we are going to take out $20. So that's gonna leave $64.09. Okay, so from that, we have the grocery money that was left over and also the other. So it's $35 and the change. And so the $35, I think I might just add it to our savings challenge, but I have to have a talk with him just to be sure. So for our joint fulfillment, so I'm just gonna say leftover money from the envelope is the $35. So minus the $35, that leaves us with the $29.09. So with that, that would pretty much just be remaining in our checking account cushion that we're gonna allocate elsewhere. So I'm not really sure if this is the proper way to close out a budget, a paycheck budget. I truthfully never have really done that, but I'm trying out something new this last quarter of the year in hopes to gain a better control and understanding of like what are we really doing with our paycheck budget? Are we doing what we had intended? Are we making improvements? And so these are type of things that I am trying to work on. And so I hope that it just encourages you to maybe do the same thing. So this leaves us with that 29. And so I'm just gonna say that this is gonna be rollover into our cushion. So we're just gonna do 29.09. So that should equal that 64.09 and leaving us with zero out, because we want to give every dollar a job. Now some people, what they do is any money that is left over, they'll divide it up between the spouses. We kind of do things a little bit differently over here. So yeah, this is what the closing out of the budget looks like. And now let me just show you what we are currently working with, and I'm showing my true numbers since this is my payday. So I do work full-time. I get paid bi-weekly, and my husband, he is self-employed and his income kind of varies. We hope to pay him weekly, but if a job takes longer, he won't receive a payment from that client until the job is completed. Yes, they pay a deposit and all of that, but once the final payment or once the final day is done, we will send the invoice and receive the payment from the client. So sometimes things take a little bit longer, but that's what the variable income is, and we kind of just have to roll with it. And we have been in this situation now for almost 2 years, I would say, and we're still getting adjusted to like what honestly works best for the business side of things. It's a whole thing. So my total income minusing the tithe, because we do tithe 10%, and that's from our gross pay, and so that leaves us with $1176.95 to budget out for. And so this is what our bills look like. Again, I showed you the bill tracker. That's where I got these numbers from. And we have a couple of other things that is new. And so one of them is counseling. So we do pay for counseling now. It's something that I feel people don't talk openly about it. And I believe in Christian counselors. So not just any counselor, a Christian counselor is super important. And so we have been going to counseling. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why I had not been posting long form videos on YouTube and primarily just sharing things on Instagram because it was just easy. It's just something that I am not ashamed that, you know, we seek out counsel, and it's something that I would encourage anybody to do that really needs it. So we had put something on a credit card, but we never carry balances. So anytime whenever we put a transaction on one of our credit cards, we always will pay it off. And so I just wanted to go ahead and just pay this off. And it's my husband's credit card that he used. We're gonna budget out $70 for the week. That's pretty much been working well for me. It's just my car that I take out gas for. Grocery is $85 each and every week, and my other is $25. My husband attends this men's breakfast at our church. The weekly amount is $5. So I just marked a $5 there. And we're going to keep a $100 buffer in our checking account. And then I have a medical bill that I had received that is $57.87. I will add this up a couple of times because I make reels on Instagram and ASMR, I need the sounds. So with this total, let's see what it comes to. I'm not gonna write it in, I will write it in on Instagram. Okay, so $1,098.56 is what the total expenses comes out to be. And then from that, we are going to put in a small amount into our home fund. We have pretty big changes coming up in November. So finances, I honestly don't even know how it's all going to go down, but it's something that just needs to happen. Crazy stuff. So we're going to put $23.39 is the projected amount. And then the sinking funds that we are taking out from this pay is what is listed over here. Blessings, we have our Mint Mobile that we set aside so that way we can pay for an upcoming plan after our 3 months that we signed up for Mint Mobile. It's been decent. I haven't had any complaints. For me, I've been loving Mint. I really haven't seen, the only difference I've seen is the fact that I have signal where I am primarily at versus how it was before I had Mint. But my husband, he's kind of in a similar situation than he was with Verizon, which we didn't really have the best service. So I guess it all depends on like where you're driving and what you're doing for work, but I've been liking it so far. Pet, we're gonna add in $10. So I just added that up. It's $35 for sinking fund. And then as I had mentioned to you, we're gonna put $20 into our savings challenge, which it should equal out at a zero base budget. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add this up. And it should total what the income is. So $1176.95 is what the expenses and our savings equal to, and that should bring us to a zero base budget. So I've already written in what we want to withdraw from the bank. So we want one $50 bill, and how I figured this out, because I've gotten a lot of questions, to know what denominations you want before you go to the bank, you'll see what are you going to be withdrawing, okay? So we withdraw for grocery, and that's $85. So that's $150, $120, $110, and $15. Other is getting $25, that will be $120 and $15. Men's breakfast, $5. And that's all that we're going to withdraw over here. The rest that we will be withdrawing is our sinking funds, which I've written in right here. So Blessing is going to get $5, Mint is going to get $20, Pet is going to get $10, and then our savings challenge will be $20. So we're going to take out a total of, I believe that's $170. So $150, 4 20s, 2 10s, and 4 5s. So that is what I had taken to the bank to withdraw. And next we will get to cash stuffing and counting our envelopes. I think this video though is kind of long enough, so if you enjoyed it, then be sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you on the next video for our cash stuffing. Bye guys!